A show that I love since the very beginning. I adore. I think it's fantastic. I think that the first season is this perfect boiling point of storytelling. It is, you are boiling the kettle, and it gets to this point where everything just foams over. It blows up. It is a perfect storytelling season. I fucking love it. Every single bit of it comes back in the end. It's one of the greatest seasons of television, in my opinion, of all time. And then season 2 happened. Season 2, I think, was a big downgrade. The animation took a step down, and the story overall was quite okay. I didn't really care for it all too much. It was just it was a little bit of a harder sit through than the first season. And not saying it is bad. It was a perfectly 7.5, 8 out of 10 season. Didn't wrap me in like the first season did. And I was kind of hesitant walking into season 3. I was really scared that we continue to downstep in animation and downstep in storytelling. I don't really know where we were going after the second season, because the second season is not the tense boiling point the first season was. I thought they were gonna follow that format, but the second season kind of has this abrupt end, like you hit a fucking wall and it just stops. Like, sure, whatever. And again, well, I'll get into it later, that it was needed, but I don't necessarily enjoy the second season as much as I enjoyed the first season. And then when season 3 came out, I was just really hesitant that the animation was continuing to go downwards. The storytelling was going to continue to just degrade over time, because I've never read the comics. I want to, but I heard the comics don't even reach up to the show's level of quality. And I was really hesitant walking into the season. I didn't even know if I wanted to watch it, just because I don't want to see what was so fucking good. Like, again, one of the best seasons of television I've ever watched just downgrade into this puddle of bleh. But eventually I did watch it after some of my friends were like, yeah, it's still as good as like last season. Watching the third season, I came to the consensus of not only is it at the worst of the animation okay. People have been complaining about the animation of this season all season long. It's been okay at worst and fantastic at best. It's not that bad. I've seen worse animation before. Yes, they do get lazy at some points in time, but when you have to spread your budget across 8 episodes and you really want to show out for that finale like they did, this is what you do. You had to budget across, you have to cut some corners, and this is what happens. It's very prominent in the anime space to do this exact same thing. So I fully understand where they were coming from and why the animation kind of looks junky at some point in time. It looks a lot better than season 2's animation though, because it's just better animation in general. Now the storytelling of this season, and why I love it so much, is that it's not only just one story. The first season was this one story that was converging at one point. There was an explosion going to happen at one point in that season. And in season 2, it was kind of like we're throwing the points across the board and none of them are converged. We have this guy who is a singular point and that will end, but none of the other ones will eventually end. And what season 3 does is it takes all those points from season 2 and throws them right into this ending point, but the ending point is in every fucking episode. Every episode has its reason and its ending, and it feels like a succinct mesh. Leads into this perfect ending of things, because all season long, Mark is getting his ass fucking whooped. Mentally, physically, all of the, socially, he's just getting his ass handed to him all the time. And you started to get the sense that towards the end of the season that this man is tired, he's broken, he is just in the fucking dump. It made me realize how perfect his name is, because again, he's getting his ass whooped, and everyone's like, why is he getting his ass whooped every episode? But I think people forget and don't realize that as much as he is very durable, it's his willpower. It's who he is. He has this willpower that he will get up after every hit, after every moment, and he will be the one standing at the end. I think that's a fantastic storytelling, and it's exemplified in this season because of the story point season 2 set up, and that had that convergence points. Because the first 3 episodes ish are Mark dealing with Cecil and the GDA, and it's a fantastic story point. Not only is it important for Mark to realize that what he's doing is not all about punishment, it's about rehabilitation, and Cecil's all about rehabilitation rather than punishment. And Mark is seeing the world through one lens, and he's starting to realize that yes, the world is not black and white, it's more these grays that he also fits into at this point after Hank's leaving, and especially with Oliver and his plot points throughout the season. It's exemplified. The whole story is who should be punished, who should be rehabilitated is not always black and white, and that's the sides of the two things. And it's weird to see that our hero, our main character, being on the side of punishment at the beginning of the season, and our guy we're not supposed to be with, Cecil, being the one who wants to rehabilitate the bad guys. And I love that boiling point when it comes to things. And I think that it's exemplified not only throughout those first 3 episodes where that's the big plot point, but throughout the rest of the season when he goes through with Duplicate's brother and that whole plot point with the mob and everything like that, and his balancing between being all good and actually doing what's necessary. And the ending with Conquest, and I know he doesn't think about it, about not killing Conquest, but it also leans into that idea of like, should he be rehabilitated or should he just be killed off? And I think it's a wonderful thing that they still tie in that idea while it's not just handed to us, but it's Mark going off the deep end, because now it's about killing, and now it's about full punishment instead of, bringing him into jail and not rehabilitating. It's not the idea of cooperating with Cecil. And I think the whole Cecil underlying things of Mark no longer having the backbone of the GDA and the Guardians and Team or whatever you want to call them, fantastic. And I think that story beat really helps in this case. I think Mark being more on his own and having the limited system around him with his family and with Eve really helps up the stakes, because now if these people die, Mark's going off the deep end. If he dies, there's no one else in the world to save him, because the GDA is now ill-equipped to deal with these things. And I think it takes all the best parts of season 1 and the best parts of season 2 and meshes them together to make this perfect concoction of TV. It's exemplary. I think it's one of the best seasons of TV I've seen in a while. Probably since I've seen season 1. I think it's better than the season 1, if I'm going to be honest. I think there's very little that I did not like about the season. There's very little that I can think that is a bad thing, and especially from a storytelling point of things, has been Kirkman has been talking lately about is that the long comic run he is more of an outline at this point, that he has added so much from Cecil's backstory to Conquest to all these little things that he's added to the story. It has helped flesh itself out and become what was a great comic, from what I've heard, to a perfect TV show. And I'm not using that word lightly. I don't like to call things perfect, but Invincible is what the kids like to call peak TV. Like I want people to desperately watch this as bad. Like when people are like, you should watch Breaking Bad, you should watch Better Call Saul, you should watch all these awesome shows. This is what I want for. Because it is literally one of the best superhero TV shows of all time, and not only that, one of the best TV shows of all time. And season 3 bounced back from season 2 in such a way where I went from, okay, that was fine, to I need season 4 as soon as possible, like I was with season 1. The little plot points that they left open for the end of season 3 gets me more excited, because I have no idea what oil thing that was with Mark's suit and everything like that, and I don't want to hear spoilers, so don't even fucking try to talk about it. But season 3 is just It's hard to top season 1, and it does that somehow. I think it's more because it has a lot more to build off of and a lot more to use from season 2 and season 1, that it gets better. Season 1, tea that was boiling over, and season 3 is just, we're gonna hit you anything and everything. It was just that fucking, like, we're gonna put Mark through hell. You're gonna enjoy watching it because he's gonna come out at the end, but we're gonna kick his fucking ass, and it's gonna show Mark that the world is no longer black and white like he thought it was before Hanksman Levy. Because Hanksman Levy, in my mind, Hanksman Levy's death at the end of season 2 was that point where Mark had crossed over from no longer being black and white, and now the world is gray, because now he's a killer. He's killed someone, and again, that point gets exemplified, I think, in like episode 1 of the season, where Cecil's like, "You killed someone. Should I just lock you up now?" I like, season 1 and season 2 didn't have the themes and like the commentary like season 3 has, and I think that's why season 3 is so much better. It's because of the themes and messaging that they want to tell through this story, and they do it in such a fucking good way, man. Dude, is fucking fantastic. I can't recommend it enough if you have not started watching it. Season 1's fantastic, season 2 is alright, and season 3 is even better than season 1. It's somehow getting better, and I do not know how, and I hope they keep it up for season 4. I know they're already in production for season 4 coming out in 2026, but I need it now. And like, it's gotten me to a point where I want to read the comic, but I also don't want to spoil myself, because also I know that the comic is now subpar, because Kirkman's been on record saying, yeah, I wasn't really proud of what I did with the comic, but I'm making it better in the show. And I think that's fantastic that Kirkman not only recognizes that, yeah, what I put out wasn't the greatest, and second of all, wants to make it better through this medium, and it's fucking fantastic, man. Amazon's been hitting out of the park when it comes to superhero stuff. The Boys is great, and Invincible is fucking amazing. I don't want to be that guy who's like, yeah, Amazon, but they are fucking killing the streaming game. And as much as I hate boosting streamers, I don't want to like be like, oh yeah, streaming is the future. In TV, it is. And if they continue to put out seasons on a yearly basis of other TV shows, they're just going to continue hitting out the park. They are fucking fantastic. They are a great streamer. I think they're the best ones in the game. And shows exactly where priorities are, and I just love it, man. It's peak, man. I there's little else I can say that other than it's fucking peak.